Sorry, I was on mute there. Good morning, and thank you all for taking time to join us today to find out more about HYPERVSN and our 3D holographic displays. Before we start, I'll just introduce myself. I'm Chris Smith. I'm here today with Sam and also Chris. I'm Chris Smith. I'm the UK Sales Director, and for the past 15 years, I've worked in the audiovisual industry, helping manufacturers take innovative technology to market, working with system integrators, resellers, and end users across all verticals. So, how did HYPERVSN start? The company was formed by two school friends, Art and Kirill, who lived in the same town in Belarus. After finishing secondary school, they both moved to the UK to continue their studying. Art went off to study political economic analysis, and Kirill went off to study 3D image processing at Oxford University. During this time, Kirill learned how doctors used and analysed medical 3D images, as well as how the human brain interprets and processes 3D images. Art and Kirill were both frustrated that they still lived in a world of boring 2D content. Yet where was the 3D holographic world that we'd all seen in films growing up? So they set off on a mission to change this. The first product, which they created, actually worked on a bike wheel, and as the wheel would spin, a 3D image would appear. So let's just give you a little bit of history. So in 2012, both Art and Kirill accepted a part on the Dragon's Den, where they successfully secured 3 out of the 4 dragons for investment. This year as well, they also won a Shell Live Award and an award at Cambridge University for Entrepreneur of the Year. 2014 saw us progress with a developed prototype of HYPERVSN, which also won a Top 3 Innovation Award that year. In 2015, they came first place in a pitch to the rich in the startup category. Here, they had a personal endorsement for Sir Richard Branson himself, and also gained investment from Mark Cuban, the billionaire entrepreneur and owner of the NBA Dallas Mavericks. 2016 saw HYPERVSN launch, with big organizations embracing HYPERVSN for the very first time. And in 2017, HYPERVSN was commercially launched at the world's largest consumer electronics show, CES in Las Vegas, winning second place in the Showstoppers Award. 2019 saw a Gold Edison Award for Hologram and Studio category and a Netherlands British Chamber of Commerce Technology Innovation Award, as well on top an AV Award for Display Technology of the Year. 2020 to 2021, we have seen further innovation across hardware, software, including new interactive technology, human hologram, and slots. So, our HQ is 5 minutes from London Bridge. We have a logistics centre in Venus, Europe, and we actually manufacture the product in Cork in Ireland. We have service centres across the US and Asia as well. As you can see by these reviews from global press, we actually make quite an impression when you experience HYPERVSN yourself. Currently, we have installations in 65 countries. We are working with 25% of the Fortune Top 100, and to date, we have 15 international awards. Whatever your business, you will need a way to connect with your audience, a way to deliver your message, a way to inspire other people with your vision. And in 2021, it's predicted that the average person will be exposed to around about 5,000 adverts a day. It's just crazy when you think about that. How do you stand out from the crowd? How do you get people's attention? We've become so used to screens and displays everywhere we go on a day-to-day basis that we take little notice most of the time. If you think about it yourselves, when was the last time you were stopped in your tracks? At HYPERVSN, we genuinely believe that we have technology that can stop people in their tracks. Some people even stand there with a mouth so wide open for a while, scratching their heads, trying to figure out how the 3D holographic content in front of them is appearing out of thin air. We have something very special that stands out from the crowd, and it creates emotion. A fully scalable solution, anything from a 22-inch single up to a 6 meter by 6 meter wall, possibly even bigger. HYPERVSN is immensely powerful and is something vastly different to everything else that's currently being used in the Pro AV market. You can find a way to use HYPERVSN in any environment, any vertical. We are pioneering the 3D holographic space. As you can see, we have some fantastic statistics when you compare us against digital 2D advertising and traditional print. And as you can see, these are some of the trusted brands and organizations that we've worked with so far on our journey. And as you can see, this is over a range of different verticals as well. Here you can see just some of the examples of how customers are actually using these within their organization. Now I'm going to pass you over to my colleague Sam, who is going to tell you more about the technical side.
Hi all, I'm Sam. I have been working at HYPERVSN for the past 3 years alongside our founders on the business side and developing the market. My previous background was in A-level celebrity ambassadorial campaigns, and I believe that HYPERVSN is an absolute celebrity in the world of technology and innovation. And I will explain why. This is all about great thought process that Kirill and Art, our founders, have put in the past few years. I'm sure that all of us sort of imagined the holograms live and imagined how cool would it be to see this in real life. However, the real hard job is delivering the future to present. So with great efforts of our founders, HYPERVSN is currently the only holographic solution that is affordable, easy to use, completely scalable, fits into any environment, and delivers truly magical and high-quality holographic effect. So, how does it actually work? So, HYPERVSN is a rotating LED-based display with 4 arms. Each arm has around 200 LED lights, and the device itself spins at around 700 RPM. So the question is, what makes it so holographic? So there are several factors that I've figured out myself, and I believe is transparency, 3D content itself, and our perception. I will explain a little. So when the device rotates, obviously the arm disappears, the screen itself becomes completely transparent. Now, to create a hologram, you also have to use a 3D content. And our perception also helps here, because when we see a 3D content spinning in the air on a transparent screen, and we can see things behind this content, our brain automatically thinks that this is a floating hologram in the air. So HYPERVSN is a high-quality product manufactured in Cork, Ireland. We're only using the best materials for our product to make sure we can provide the highest resolution, great color range, and rigid lifespan. When working with high-end clients and brands, it is important to be there for them. So this is why we make sure our multilingual business and technical support teams are always available to consult and assist. So it is the new effective experience and the wow factor that our clients are after, and we make sure they get what they need. So let's quickly run through all the features and add-ons of our product. Right. So we have two devices, two single devices, two different sizes, 22-inch and 30-inch, as well as our medium device combined together to create any size of the holographic wall. Apart from the hardware, we've been heavily working on our software elements, and we have our own CMS, online management system, that allows you to control your devices, register them, track them on the map, create users, and etc. So we have a feature that is called Cloud Pro. This is similar to your other AV scheduling softwares that allows you to schedule content remotely, create your campaigns, set the timer, and this is just all for your convenience. On the wall side, we have our own wall builder that allows you to create different layouts of walls, upload content, configure everything. So this is our own software as well. Now, the content is very important, and everybody knows that 3D animation is just overall a very difficult discipline. Therefore, HYPERVSN team worked hard to create our own online 3D studio where anybody without any animation skills can create their own content and make the most out of the HYPERVSN. So we have our own bank of 3D models available. So you can use those, you can upload your own logos, you can upload your own objects, and easily create your beautiful content on our 3D studio. So the content is important. Obviously, when creating a hologram, the content must be holographic. So there are several ways how you can get your content made. As mentioned on the previous slide, there is 3D Studio where you can create certain things yourself. We have a media library with many animations available for anybody to use. Of course, when it comes to big brands, the custom content is required, and therefore we have our own design lab, a magical design lab that can create pretty much anything. And apart from that, we're also happy to work with companies and brands themselves to train their own 3D designers and teams to animate the content correctly for our technology. Now, in terms of new products, so this is, I think, our own way to show that it is possible to be interactive. It's possible to create interactive solutions with HYPERVSN. Whether this interactivity be connected to an event system, for example, QLab, or some sensor under the floor, it doesn't matter. It's all possible to achieve. This is an example of our own 3D catalog. And the idea of this is that you can upload your own product list, for example, shoes or bags, and you can use your hand gesture to scroll through the catalog and change the products. It's a very cool idea for retail environment. Here is another interactive solution that we've created ourselves, HYPERVSN slots. The applications here are for casinos as well as corporate entertainment. So this is a simple holographic slot machine with a trigger where you can just pull it and the game will start. It's a great entertainment. Just an example that anything can be created with HYPERVSN. Apart from that, we have our own accessories just for the convenience. For example, my favorite is the glass box that goes on the countertop and it's easy to use. We have our own tripods and protection domes. And there are ceiling mount accessories and demo boxes available. And yeah, overall, we're ready with any accessories and for any client. But right now, I'm going to pass you to my colleague Chris that will talk more about the use cases and actual applications of our great product.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Chris. As mentioned, I'm Chris Prostowski. I've worked for HYPERVSN now for just over 6 months, similar time period as Chris Smith. I've been in the AV industry now for over 10 years, working in the pro AV market, working for distributors. I've worked at NEC and system integrators. So you've got a nice broad range. And I think, as you probably see already, why we're so excited about these products and moving forward. As discussed, we're just going to run through a couple of use cases and scenarios, so how they're actually being used in real world applications. So here we have been working with a bar and Red Bull. This is a great way just to stand out from the crowd, very simply, with a very powerful solution. I'm sure everyone will agree that having been in lockdown for the past 12 months, the entertainment industry is going to be hugely popular over the next coming months. Everyone's been stuck inside and really excited to get back out. Our products offer a unique way in which to engage with your target market and to create an experience like no other. Clarks in London were looking for a new way to entice customers into their stores. This was to increase the footfall and the number of transactions. They found that this 6-unit street-facing solution really helps them to do so. And we got the figures to back up how successful this process had been and solution. Having led the way with furniture since 1943, IKEA are now adopting our human hologram technology to promote and inform the customers of the features of the new products. Here in Egypt, human hologram has been used to interact with the audience. This scalable solution will enable customers to a great platform to see how it can be used in a variety of ways, such as human holograms and product demonstrations. One of the growing markets for us is the hospitality and corporate side. Reception spaces have been struggling for a long time to break the trend of LFDs, LEDs for a number of years now, and are starting to adopt our technologies to set themselves apart. Being the first area that a lot of partners will see as they enter the offices gives them a great opportunity an impressive opportunity to show what they are about as a company. And no better way is this completed than using a 3D holographic display. When Nissan introduced their new Juke, they opted for a powerful solution alongside the new model. HYPERVSN was chosen to make them stand out, and using an 8x5 unit wall, this enabled them to do so. They were ecstatic with the feedback they'd received regarding the 40-unit wall solution and the content. As discussed, one of the great solutions and features of HYPERVSN is our ability to change and upload content. This is brilliant for seasonal campaigns, such as the Stephen's Green Shopping Centre in Dublin around Christmas. This was utilised in the Christmas campaign, but can easily be changed with the seasons and the promotions. A similar process was also used with Nike at the size store in London as well. With the ability to create 4K resolutions and higher using the HYPERVSN units, this makes it extremely popular and efficient for any manufacturing company. After participating in our 3D content training course, companies have been able to use us quickly to upload their new designs to a 3D holographic wall to see what the finished product will look like, rather than having to wait for a 3D printed or sculptured solution. When the Royal Air Force were looking to stand out from the crowd when recruiting, they opted for a triple-sided 3x2 solution. This, coupled with great content by in-house creation team, resulted in a spectacular fashion, as you can see from the upcoming videos that we're going to run through at the end. Always at the forefront of technology in their market, Dyson were looking for an innovative way to show how their devices work and able to clean the air. We worked with Dyson for a simple yet extremely effective solution in demonstrating this, and has been very widely received well. At the Iris Centre in Dubai, We work with a company to creatively and imaginatively use our holographic solutions incorporated within this feature, as you can see. So live plants with our holographic solutions to create the effect of birds flying in and out, and it gives a really impressive solution. This again is one of the creative ways that we can be working with the architecture in the building to really give a sort of a new aspect and view of the products. Again, fully scalable, so this could be used in multiple different sites and ways. Let's just run through a number of the solutions that we talked about, but obviously in a video format.
So as you can see, we have got some really exciting case studies and some creative ways of using our product, as you've just seen in the video. Just before we go to a Q&A, I'd just like to say a few words. I'd just like to thank you for your time and your interest in HYPERVSN. We would love to show you this with your own eyes. So as of the next couple of weeks, we're opening the office and having an open office. So please feel free, reach out to us, book an appointment, come down and see HYPERVSN with your own eyes, because seeing really is believing. The videos and pictures never really do it as much justice as you actually seeing it with your own eyes. So you can come and see it at our place, or you can see it at our distribution partner, Piesco, at their new updated innovation house, which they've just had completely updated. So by all means, reach out to either Piesco, reach out to HYPERVSN, and let's show you this with your eyes. You can see it with your own eyes. So now we'll move across to a Q&A and put some questions out. Should we all go on?
Yeah, guys, so if anybody has any questions to ask now, we're sort of happy to answer anything. So let's run through the quick Q&A here.
So let's have a look. Could this be used in a marquee to show football matches? Currently, no, because we can't do the live feed as in that like that. You couldn't run live TV through that currently at the moment, but we will take note of that. Does the sunlight affect the device's visibility? I think, like with all displays, if you're used to working with display technology anyway, whether or not that's LCD screens, LED, yeah, ambient sunlight will play a part, but we've been thinking about that, and that is something that we've got in our kind of lineup coming in the future, where we are looking at higher bright solutions so that you can use those.
So we've got a question about the forthcoming daytime and outdoor products. This is in the work. We are expecting to have a outdoor solution available before the end of this year. So we're expecting that around 3,000 plus nits to be used in direct sunlight outdoors.
I have the question for real-time streaming, broadcasting. The real-time and live streaming solution is coming, and we're working on it, so it will be completely possible. Not as of yet.
Okay, can I use my own CMS system? Currently, you would need to use our CMS system, but we are talking with other providers in that kind of digital signage world so that we could embed with other people's software. So currently at the moment, I mean, our CMS system is pretty much like any system that you're going to use in any digital signage product. It's very simple. It's similar to use, but we are looking at embedding with other people. So
I've got another one. I like this one. Live weather forecast on Solo. Thinking about it, I believe it could be pretty possible. Some little coding needs to happen in the background, but overall, this is pretty doable, I believe, yes.
Would love to do a demo to Festival of Speed Goodwood. That would be fantastic. We'd love you to do that as well. You know, we've got some, you've seen some of the ways we've used the technology beforehand. We've worked with a lot of car manufacturers to show cars being launched, etc. So Steve Hardy, please get in contact. We'd love to work with you and do a demo to Goodwood.
What else should I answer?
The question is going through.
Do blades require covering or casing? Okay, I think this is a simple one to answer. Yes, it's a spinning display. So in public locations for safety, we'll always recommend to create perspex or glass covers for our walls and devices.
What about 3D content?
Yeah, okay, so 3D content. You can use any 3D creation tools, whether that's being Cinema 4D or After Effects or any other software. The end result, sort of the end format, is an MP4 that our system takes. So if you can create your own 3D content, please go ahead and do it. Absolutely fine.
Can this presentation, Christian Water, can this presentation be shown to my own investors? Yes, by all means. We will be actually sharing this probably online. We have recorded it, so anyone that couldn't see it, we will, again, Christian, reach out to us and we will share the link, or just follow us on LinkedIn and we'll post it on there.
So another one here. Are there any portable products? We have our demo box, for example, that can be taken to the meetings, if that's the question. It's very easy to transport. A glass box solution can be also transported, but in most of the cases, it's fixed to a particular location and stand.
But we have obviously worked with agencies that have actually turned these into portable units. So there are ways of doing this. We've had units appear on the top of cars to actually drive around and actually show like a trainer launch, etc. So we do, one of the points that we just should add as well is we do share our software development kit as well. So that if you are kind of creative and you are looking to do things slightly differently, we could work with you and try and create some new way of using HYPERVSN. One of the things that we've all learned over the past kind of, well, for me and Chris, for the past kind of 6 months, and probably Sam over the past 3 years, is that the further and the more and more people we talk to about the product, the more and more applications we find each day. So it's not just a standard digital signage product.
So, but overall, please just visit our website and take a look at all the accessories that are available. They're very handy.
So we've got a question here from Steve Hardy as well regarding what is the largest image size. One of the nice things about the solution is the fact that it is truly scalable. As mentioned, we've worked with solutions and we're currently working on opportunities at the moment which are over 100 unit solutions. So generally the idea is if you've got a solution, any sort of size, let us know. Obviously we can work with the tech teams and we can obviously confirm what sort of size you want to go.
I mean, just jumping in, 6 meters by 6 meters, and we can probably go bigger than that. And then you can add gesture control to that as well. Do you have any more questions? Any more questions, people?
I think we've got one regarding where the parts for the rotors, the stator and the LED lights are produced. They are, as mentioned previously, they are produced in Cork in Ireland.
Tom saying, I think we need to make the walls more affordable for events. Tom, I think, I mean, talk to us about the events you're thinking about. We come from a Pro AV background, and you know, when we look at the pricing of what we're doing with HYPERVSN, and you look at the pricing for standard LED or LCD displays, you know, we think we're quite comparable. We know for one thing is that we'll get more of a reaction and get more of an emotional connection showing ours than what you will with conventional screens.
What else should we have?
We've got, what is the maximum resolution for MP4, Sam? That's a Sam question.
Maximum resolution of MP4 depends on what sort of wall you're using. So if you're using a humongous wall, then your resolution will be larger. But if that's a format question, then it's 1080p. But overall, if it's actual file resolution that you're after, we will be able to share the resolution with you once we know what sort of size of the wall we're working with.
Come into the office and see our wall and bring your content with you. And let's see what we can do. Any more questions? Esports events would benefit from this device a lot. It would be cool. You know, with the guys have actually played around with gaming. We could do 3D Tetris currently. But just anywhere where you're trying to get something out, whether or not it be a product, whether or not it be a service, whether or not it's just information within your corporate building, or it's a new product, or you've got a company reception, this is a great way to show something in 3D rather than 2D. It's show-stopping. I mean, the guys, we've experienced it when we was at trade shows and stuff. And I mean, I'd walked around a stand for 5 days and walked about 30 odd miles and my feet hurt. But as I was walking through ISE, I looked across the other side and I could see this hologram coming out of the wall, and it was massive. And I couldn't understand how or how they were achieving it. So I ended up walking over and looking at it. It's wow, it's different. And in a world, if like our presentation showed, when we're looking at 5,000 adverts per day that get pushed through to us just in retail, without anything else, just retail, how do you stand out? We all do walk past screens every single day. without paying any attention to it. And this is a way for you guys to really actually put something out there which will gain people's attentions. It's futuristic. We've been living in the past for so long.
A few questions. Well, first of all, I think we can answer this correctly. What's the maximum feasible size of the wall, I guess?
6 meters by 6 meters. We said up to.
To be honest,
Go bigger
no
than that.
limits. I mean, guys, if you have projects in mind for huge walls, let's discuss it and we can do it. So far, we probably have done a combination of, I don't know, 100 devices or more. That being said, I don't know, 10 meters by 8 meters walls, for example. This is what we've done so far, but there are no limits. We can do larger. Another question in terms of internet and the remote control. So first of all, we have our own management system, as mentioned before, that allows you to control these devices remotely as long as they are connected to the internet. So we have software to do that.
Question about kids touching the devices.
Okay, hold on. Can you mount the HYPERVSN wall on the ceiling? You can mount it on the ceiling if you create a supportive structure, but it also has to be facing the audience. So it's probably not looking down, but actually looking at your audience. So that's that.
I believe there's a question about people touching the. Yes.
Okay, go on.
So the question here, obviously, kids love to touch stuff, safety measures for wall and platforms. Obviously, this is one of the sort of questions we get asked a lot. Obviously, you've got this hologram appearing in front of you and everybody does it. Their first thought is, I want to touch and grab it. There are a couple of ways in which we can prevent this from happening. First and foremost, we do a lot of accessories. So we have a number of domes, we have glass boxes, we have other casings depending on the size of the wall. There are obviously solutions such as the ceiling mounted and as well sort of putting it in places where you physically will not be able to go and touch. So little barriers around it as you would do with other sort of displays. So there's a number of ways in which we can prevent people from touching the products.
All right, hang on. What? So this question, for example, leap motion. So the idea to use a leap motion control. Yes, absolutely, we can do that. It's not too hard to connect the leap motion control that can trigger the content. So let's do it. Any other questions that you see, guys?
There is a question as whether the protective glass, the screen does ruin the illusion of the 3D.
No.
I mean, being honest, this was an initial thought that we sort of had as well. But when we actually installed it and had a look with our eyes at the office, it almost enhances the actual quality and the illusion of the 3D image. So really no issues there at all.
Please come down and have a look.
We've got another interesting one here.
Okay.
So can I use the device in combination with LED wall? Yes, absolutely. And I think this is a great idea to combine both and have the interactive content from the LED to the HYPERVSN. So why not?
Right, should we do a couple more questions?
A couple more questions. Okay. Is it easy to integrate sound into holograms? Yes, very easy. We have our own master box that allows sound output with a simple aux cable. So anything can be 3.5 millimeters cable can be plugged in, and that's that. That's it. Okay. Right. How much is the maximum? Yeah, somebody is chasing me for this question, but I really don't get it. How many devices can be maximum connected in the wall? Yeah, there is no limits.
Yeah.
The wall can be as large as you can dream.
And what's the one about Design Studio? Right, do you want to?
No, I think. I mean, with regarding to this question, let's just talk separately. There is quite a lot of questions in one question, so we'll be happy to answer this separately.
So maybe say sort of maybe one more, or and then like say sort of look to.
Yeah, Steve's asked about being weatherproof. Steve, if it's going outside, we would, like all screens, we would say you put it in a housing unit for outside. We have customers that are using them outside as anything from part of displays for shops or signage for the actual shop themselves. So they can be used outside, but you just need to house.
Okay, now, does it use a lot of power?
On average, about 40 watts.
Yeah, on average about 40 watts. So no, it does not use a lot of power, very little power.
Resistant to snow or moist. No, definitely don't put it in the snow. But again, we just talked about the housing units. There's easy ways these days to house things, and lots of companies doing it, and we can kind of help point you in the direction of those. Any more questions before we wrap up? I mean, the
we answered pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is come and see it with your own eyes. Come to the office. Come reach out to us. Come and see it, because seeing really is believing. The videos look great, the images look great, but you're missing so much by actually seeing it in real life. So please come and see us.
And we've got one final question of the day.
It's an interesting one. To be honest, never tested this idea yet.
What's that?
So this is something that we can potentially try together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of the sort of solutions that we do is the triple mounted wall ceiling. So effectively you've got 3 devices, and with that, it does actually give like the impression of the sort of solution being curved. So like I said, I think on solutions like this, it's great, you know, we can sort of talk a bit further. And as you know, again, we've got solutions here. It would be something we could look to test and obviously give you sort of a great sort of final sort of answer there.
How do we get the audio into the devices? Okay, I'll try to explain this again. So, for example, let's say we have our own HYPERVSN wall, several devices connected together. We have our own control box that's called the master box, and all the devices are connected to the master box. So the audio file actually sits on the master box. And the master box has 3.5 millimeters audio output. So you can plug in any speakers and your content will be running in sync with your audio. I hope this answers it.
Just coming back to the curved wall question, no, it would need to be a flat wall for that. We wouldn't be able to create a curved wall, as you don't see any of the curves or other shapes if it's curved. So
can I use it in 360 degrees? Here is probably the best idea is to actually create a back-to-back solution, and it will be pretty much near to 360 because you'll have very little angle on the side where nothing is visible. But apart from that, it's 176 degrees of view angle of each side. So realistically, you get left with a very tiny blind spot. So that's not very important. So back-to-back for this would be the best idea.
So any more questions? Can I create content from After Effects? What settings are required? Okay, that's a Sam.
I don't see this question yet.
Does it circulate for like a fan? No, Christian, it doesn't circulate air like a fan. You obviously have a little bit of noise due to the fans, but it doesn't push out air like a fan would do. How the devices are connected to the master box via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth?
There was a question with regards to content creation in After Effects.
Yeah.
Yes, you can create your content using any software. There isn't any particular rules in terms of rendering and etc. Just do whatever you can to make the 3D content look the best. There are certain rules, for example, like you need to use 000 RGB black background, and your resolution has to be correct for particular size.
Yeah,
That's all.
I think that's the only thing, isn't it? The only requirement is resolution itself.
Yeah, yeah.
We've just got a question from Steve Hardy asking whether demo units are available. Steve, what we'll do is we'll get in contact after, and obviously we can then discuss moving forward, obviously with demo solutions.
Hold on, what else we have? How the devices are connected to the master box. So essentially the devices are daisy chained to one another and also connected directly to the master box. So it's a wired connection.
It's called 485 interface.
That's it. HDMI, somebody was asking about HDMI. I think this is a similar question that is connected to broadcasting and live streaming. It is coming. We're working on it. We have our own prototypes, and now we cannot tell you when it's coming, but it will be soon.
I think we had a question about covering in development, so customizing colors for brands and spaces. I mean, if you've got certain requirements, reach out to us, and we'll kind of help you with those.
Color. Does the device just come in one color?
Yes, at the moment the devices come in one color, but if you have some specific project and you want your devices in red, white, blue, whatever, and you can order a decent amount of devices, let's talk about it and we'll paint them for you.
Okay, any more questions?
I mean,
Used in USA.
I'm not really
Could
getting
be
that.
used as a fan. COVID and all. Not a fan as in
Cooling fan,
Cooling
no.
fan, no.
Right.
It doesn't work the same way. The cooling fans blades work kind of shaped a certain way to actually push air out, draw air. These fans blades don't work the same way as that. So I'd say no. When you protect glass, should
Okay, so hold on. I think this one we can. Wall stability for large walls. How do you make it safe and secure? Okay, we've done several projects for large walls, and realistically, what you need to do is to create a very rigid wall frame made of solid material, metal, for example. Attach all of your devices and make sure there is a glass in front of it, perspex. It's completely sealed. Depends where you want to use it. You have to create separate accessory.
it's pretty similar to kind of any install that you're going to do of screens, LED or anything. You have to make sure that the wall is strong enough to take the load. The one thing I would say about HYPERVSN compared to LCD displays, LED displays, is that our units are a lot lighter than what they do. There isn't really there could be a framework, but it's a smaller install.
So got a question on the fan sound and whether it's noticeable. So again, I mean, we've got a 15-unit wall at our office. This 15-unit wall is actually uncovered. And one of the nice things is that you can be standing relatively close, a couple of meters away from it, and you won't have to raise your voice. When we do mention about using the coverings, they do take away at least 90% of the audio. So if you are sort of worried about a bit of the noise, then obviously using a covering will take it down quite considerably.
Okay, if anybody needs a number, noise figure on the device is 45 decibels.
Any more questions? Does the London office have more demo units? In the London office, we've
Yes.
yes, obviously it's our headquarters. We've just kind of started furthering our relationships with Piesco in Bracknell. They have got a 6 or 9 unit wall. They've got a dome, and they've also got a glass box. We've got a 15 unit wall here. We have some domes, we have glass boxes, and we have the different sizes. We have gesture control catalog version as well. So we put, obviously this is our headquarters. We need to show people the unit, so we have got quite a lot of demo units here. But if Bracknell's closer to you and it means that you actually see it, go to Bracknell, and then hopefully after you go to Bracknell, you want to come to here afterwards.
He's asking, is it the best place to get a full demo?
I think
both places are great.
Both places work, Simon, to be honest. Or go to both.
All right. Well, what else?
There's a question on hyperfaces.
Yeah.
I think
So-
Hyperfaces is coming very soon, along with live stream.
So that is definitely in the works.
Okay, I think that's a question that we can answer. If I'm understanding this correctly, is how far the image goes, how far the image projects. So, but actually, it doesn't go anywhere. The image is displayed on the fan, so you see it there, and then it doesn't come out or come in. The illusion of the object moving in and out is completely done on the content side of things.
I think, should we just on kind of the resolution of each image, just so that people get an idea? We're talking 880 by 880.
That's a
pixels.
single small.
On a single small unit, it produces 880 by 880. So if that gives you an idea of kind of resolution and how you build up to get bigger resolution, etc.
We've got a question here from Lewin Mo regarding the amount of devices you have. Obviously, we can take this offline and discuss this one separately. So we'll be able to discuss that separately.
Okay, I think. Shall we wrap up the Q&A?
Yeah. Well, any last couple of questions, and then we're going to go. So just no, it doesn't look like.
I think that seems about the total number of questions. So I'd say thank you so much, everybody, for your time today. We really appreciate this. Really appreciate the engagement with the number of questions coming back and forth. Get in contact with us via website, via our details on here as well. And we look forward to working with you guys in the near future.
Please keep an eye on our LinkedIn. We will be posting later on, just to give you details about the open weeks that are coming up. We really want to get as many people here as possible.
Somebody has a question.
Oh, Sam's got one more question.
I have a question. Okay.
Go
Please
on.
ask your question.
Far away.
How do I get a replacement last cable? Just message us. We can send you one. It's not a problem. I guess this is a wall question, so yeah, we can send you a replacement cable.
Cool.
Right, everyone. Thank you very much for your time. Please come and see us at the studio.
Yeah. Any more questions? You know where we are. Come here, message us, write to us, and we'll answer everything.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again for your time today. Thank you.